I'm a 37-year-old woman and I'm graduating from college with a mathematics BS this month. I'm headed to grad school in the fall. My younger brother, 35, and I both dropped out of high school in our teens. I've decided to change my life, went back to school, fell in love with math and am leaving my program with a solid 4.0 honors diploma. I know my shit. My brother has remained a dropout and has done nothing to improve his life. When he was a kid, he wanted to go into physics and because of that, my mom, 61, decided somehow that his interest indicated vast knowledge in mathematics. The past 4 years of my education, while I grow as a person and a student and find that I really know WTF I'm doing in math and I love it, has been met with constant assurances from my mom that my brother knows more than I do in the field and I cannot deal with it anymore. I wish it didn't bother me, but it does. It's incredibly invalidating and I've just had enough. Every scholarship, award, honor, and opportunity that I've been offered has had to be about my loser brother in some way. I've tried talking to her about it, but she just dismisses me and denies that's what's happening. I love my mom, I do, but I'm tired of what I've done being diminished by her favoritism for him. My husband, 42, thinks I should go NC with her, and I see the value in that, but he has his own issues with her that may be coloring that suggestion. I'm not really sure if I want to die on this hill and would really appreciate input from uninvolved third parties. TLDR. Mom invalidates accomplishments of one child to build up another, considering NC. If you're not sure about going NC, you don't have to go 100% all at once. Just start cutting back contact until it's at a level you can handle. That's certainly something to consider. Thank you. I probably emphasize too much with your husband in this situation, because your story reminds me a bit of my wife's. She and her sister had a very rough childhood, but they both stay in contact with their mother, love her, and then complain constantly about her. As an outsider, I have to really work hard to remind myself of the good stories they tell about the mother, because I am so angry about the bad ones. My wife missed out on so many opportunities because of a shitty mother. And you may not think of her as a shitty mother, but if she let you drop out of high school when you're obviously very smart and still doesn't support you now, your husband probably does, and he hates seeing her hurt you. That said though, it's your choice, not his. That's pretty much how he sees it, yeah. And neither of you are wrong, I'm just not sure I'm ready for that. I deal with a lot of that, but it's both my parents propping up my deadbeat sister. Luckily, I am more internal validating. I know what I've done in my life, and that's all I need. I have taken the path of ignoring it. I figure nothing I say or do will ever eclipse her in their eyes. And oh well, I stop telling them anything I've got going on, because they will always try to start the one-up game. I don't want to get into that. And I pretty much ignore them when they try to brag about her. I figure the only way to win is not to play. I'm sorry you're getting it from two sides. Not playing the game. That's actually a really good idea. Thank you for that. Her biggest scam was convincing you that her approval and acknowledgement is worth anything. Quite the con. Go check out our Raised by Narcissists. Think you may find a community there better suited to help you on this issue. I hadn't thought of my mom as a narcissist before. Interesting. I'll look into that sub. Thank you. I have had a similar experience and would expect this to continue way past college. Talking to my parents about my continued success, financial and otherwise, becomes a discussion that everyone has a different path. Money and success aren't the same thing. Your sibling is successful in different ways even though I never brought that up in the discussion. They can't just be happy for me or have a discussion about what my family's doing. They always have to justify the failures of the deadbeat sibling. As a result, I've just stopped including them in these conversations. Career advancement strategy, promotions, etc. It sucks to lose that sounding board. Don't continue relationships that make you feel bad. Even if it's your mom. It doesn't have to be a hard, dramatic break. Just reduce her involvement in your life to a level that works for you. That was suggested before and I think may be a good way to go. Thank you. I feel dumb AF, but what is NC lol? There is no dumbness in not knowing something you've not encountered before. NC in this context means no contact. As far as your husband goes, you don't explain enough for us to tell whether his issues with her are justified. But regardless, life is too short to nurture relationships that make you unhappy. And you owe nothing to people who try to tear you down, no matter what their blood relationship to you. At the very least, minimize her role in your life. What issues does your husband have with you, mother? This is my question as well. Any issue that your partner has with your family, if it's a valid concern, should be a concern for you as well. If my parent does something to upset my partner, I am the person responsible for having that conversation with my family and making a decision so that it doesn't happen again. I feel in this instance, that issue is really being swept under the rug when it should play more significance in the overall discussion. In any case, NC doesn't really have to be forever, or all or nothing. You can take a break. Or you can explain that you'll spend time with her and or call her until the point that she mentions this kinda thing, then you're gone. She's obviously got her own issues. Maybe around not being a good parent, but that's not on you to fix. At the very least, go LC with mom. She obviously is overcompensating for your brother's wasted life. Even if he was as good at math as you, he is not using the talent in any productive way. Wanting to study physics is far from understanding it or the math involved. In my old career, collision reconstruction, I used some physics, but I am the first to tell you I don't understand the math, just know how to use it. The less contact you have with your mother and brother, the less stress they will bring into your life. It has been met with constant assurances from my mom that my brother knows more than I do in the field. Your mom's delusional. She's not going to stop undermining your accomplishments because to do so means she has to admit your brother is a failure and that she, by extension, is a failed parent. Go NC ASAP. It's not a lifelong commitment. Go NC for a bit and see if you feel like your life improves or if it's lacking something. Then adjust. You need to dig in your heels, have a big talk and tell her how you see it. It will probably take more than once, but the first one should tell you if there's a chance for you to get your position across. Going NC is a decision for later. She is literally ruining every good moment of your life. I see no good reason to keep letting her do that. Congratulations on your degree. You don't have to go NC right here, right now. I believe that's more of a headache than anything else, so just keep conversations superficial and your expectations low. Don't discuss your achievements at all and hem your way through monthly conversations. How does she make it about your brother? Like if you tell her you get a scholarship, she'll say, "No, your brother got a scholarship." Just remember, mother is a title. You don't owe her for anything. You merely gave an appreciation that makes you feel indebted. She's human and is quite literally invalidating you while avoiding blame to play favorites. If you're not ready to stop talking altogether, then just only reply every now and then when you feel like it. Be more short with her and detach slowly. You deserve to be proud of yourself. Maybe unrelated, but does your brother ever set the record straight? Listen to your husband and get that toxicity out of your life. Cut the apron strings already. You're not a child anymore. You're a grown-ass woman. Do things for you, that you love. And, appreciate the goals you have achieved. It's not about apron strings. I'm fully aware of what I've done and I'm proud of myself. It's also hurtful to be invalidated by someone that I love. Both of these things can be true. I think you may find peace in learning to accept that your mother has flaws like we all do, and in this aspect of your relationship she is incapable of giving you the validation you want and you will not be able to change her. That being said, if you are unable to detach emotionally from her invalidating comments, you could think about what the terms of your ongoing relationship looks like. That may take the form of keeping your academic success separate from your relationship and changing the subject if, when she asks questions, Firstly, congrats. B. What does X equal of you're so good at math? As others have said, cut back on contact. Try to avoid certain topics relating to either academia and your brother. If you have an otherwise good relationship, it wouldn't be best to go NC off the bat. Set your own boundaries and see how things go. I'm really sorry your mom isn't supporting you. Going back to school as an adult brings all its own challenges and you have clearly met all of them. Congratulations on knocking out of the park. I think for your own sake, maybe try taking a break from your mom at the very least. See how that goes and see how you feel. Maybe you'll decide that you feel so much better that you want to stay NC. Or maybe you'll decide to have limited contact. Also, if you decide to remain in contact, feel free to hang up or end the conversation if she starts devaluing your incredible accomplishments. I have a very similar relationship between my parents and my own loser brother. Just because you're blood doesn't mean you have to let toxicity in your life. It sucks to do, but I've found myself much happier cutting them off. Curious if you've been direct with her and communicated this? Or is she in so much denial she wouldn't hear it? This is probably now about her denial of being a poor mother. She feels like she failed with him, but if she can lie to herself enough about how good he is, she'll feel better as a person. Just don't discuss your academic life with your mother.